morning, this is Brad Johnson here, and in this next video I'm going to be talking about, through conscious matrix communication, connecting with your star family. Now, in one particular Adronis morning show, actually the last one I did here just the other day, where I interviewed Rob Gauthier, who channels Treb, the Adronis channeling that followed discussed information relating to how you can connect with your star family. And so the whole idea here is that it is really simple in regards to people who want to learn how to channel, people who want to get into that meditative state where they are openly receptive to communicate with other consciousnesses. Now, it doesn't always have to relate to extraterrestrial channeling. It can relate to just literally communicating with another future version of yourself. Let's say, for example, do you have a drive to communicate 1,000 years ahead of yourself to another version of yourself that's existing on a parallel Earth? This can be done as well too. Channeling really is an expanse. There's nothing you can't do, or no one you really can't contact through the process of channeling. So what does it require in order for you to connect with your star family? It simply requires a symbol. That's really all it's about, is if you have a symbol, perhaps one that you've attained in meditation, perhaps one that you felt another individual said, you know what, I was doing a meditation and it felt like a message was being passed along to me, and I felt that maybe you could try meditating on this symbol. This felt like a guide that was coming through, asking specifically for you, and that this information came through. Strangely enough, that's how I communicated with Adronis, was from a channeling friend of mine who actually came through and said, Brad, you know what, you have very strong, serious energies. You need to connect with this star. I just feel, very urgently that something there is attempting to contact you. And so I just got the idea of Sirius. And so, the bright Dogon star. And that's really all it was just focusing on the star. I had no tree of light at that time. I had no shield. That really didn't come into play until afterwards. So it was all about just concentrating on the star of Sirius. Now again, you just let your imagination soar. There's no right way and there's no wrong way in regards to allowing a connection with your star family to take place. There are some people who are able to literally go into a meditative state, bringing themselves into an astral state, astral traveling, astral projection, and literally see themselves going on board ships, seeing outer space in a way that was never before imagined. So it's really just using your imagination in regards to what you receive. You may receive something like this. Now, not a lot of people can tell you what that is. That simply represents a hologram. That's an astral hologram symbol. And contained in this symbol are instructions. So, for example, if you had a symbol just like that, and you begin to meditate on that, you go very, very deep, and you all of a sudden have this profound experience. You may feel that you're just taken away into a realm of light, and that many particular beings that represent a legion, a monad, so to speak, perhaps are wearing this on their cloak. Perhaps they have a robe, and you see this symbol. This represents their bridge. This is their connection. And so by utilizing this particular symbol here, you're connecting through a bridge. You're allowing a rainbow bridge to open, and you're walking across that bridge. And that's all it takes, is something like a symbol. And again, the universe is filled with some amazing, incredible symbols that you can really just draw spontaneously. In one of my old channelings, Adronis talked about spontaneous holographic algorithms. It's basically, like if I was just to close my eyes here and just imagine that a symbol was coming through without even thinking about it, or I can just come up to the whiteboard, not even think about something. Now, as silly that may look, that is actually a hologram. And that leads to something. How does that happen? Because I'm not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about what I'm drawing. I'm just being completely spontaneous. I'm letting anything that comes through the hand, just as if you were to imagine that your hand truly is the embodiment of where all your consciousness is. Your inspiration, your inceptions, your conceptions, all come from the hand. There's another one. And it's very, very simple, and people can just draw this spontaneously. They just may feel that they're, they may feel that they're just drawing something, that's nonsense. Maybe they're just scribbling. I actually had one friend who constantly drew this. Constantly. In every single conversation he had on the phone, when he was taking down notes, this followed. And that was his star being sign. This is exactly what I was doing, tapping into that symbol. I said, that's your star being sign. It's just a stick man doing this, and you're seeing rays of light coming out. That's as simple as it can be. But again, it really is very easy for you to connect with your star family. It's not rocket science. And again, anything can do. If you decide to look into astrology, relating to the constellations in that sense, if you feel that a star is calling to you, maybe you have something here in Capella, maybe you have something over here in Cygnus Alpha, maybe you have something over here in Alpha Regulus, perhaps there's something over here in the Pleiades, the star clusters, the Seven Sisters. It all depends, and it doesn't, again, have to be extraterrestrial, it doesn't have to be extra-dimensional, it can simply be angelic. It could really be the idea that there's your symbol, something as simple as that. Now you may start to draw a symbol and you're getting inspiration to draw something else. Alright? Something just as simple as that. There. That's a prosperous symbol. That's a beautiful connection. That's your bridge. And this is really all you have to meditate on. And you can color it in, you can do any kind of in-depth work or simplistic work you need to on it. But this is what people have been doing, is through many of my past channelings with Adronis, people have drawn out these symbols and they've been able to connect some pretty amazing beings and have received information in that way. The biggest thing that prevents you from connecting with other entities has to do with one thing. Trust. If you don't trust the information that's coming through, if you don't trust the energy that you're working with, you're not going to be able to establish a connection. It's really important that if this is your vibration, and this is the vibration of the entity, then it's really, really important that you're working at least halfway to try and get into that particular frequency. Now that's just a particular example. So again, let's put this down here. If this again is your natural vibration, in regards to like a sine wave, and then you're bringing yourself more into a flow, and let's just say that it's not about the intensity in this way, but the flow is getting a little bit more in regards to the hills and the valleys that are coming through, then you can see that there's a bit of a change. And that's really just how you're altering your vibration in regards to meditation, is that you can often see it as a sine wave. Now, some people may want to see it very intensely, or some people may simply see it like that. It all depends in regards to what you vibrate more to. If you feel that an entity like Adronis is like this, then that's your representation of you connecting to the sine wave of that vibration. Now, there can also be other people who have seen that the sine wave of an entity is like that. It's subtle. It's almost very similar to what you would know as moving into like a theta or a delta state. So let's just say also through that example that if you're like this, which means you have a cluster of thoughts, it really is just dependent in regards to how you want to see yourself relating to vibration. If this represents intense cluster of thoughts, then basically all you're attempting to do again is just making it a little bit more minimalized. And that is a compatible connection to connect with someone like Adronis, because some people do have that connection with him and are able to connect in that way. So again, to connect with star family, to connect with angelic consciousness, to connect with extra-dimensional, a future version of yourself, other aspects of yourself on Earth or in other realities, all it requires is that trust. Being able to say that I'm gonna just come into my own space for a moment. I want to concentrate on this, and I just want to feel what's coming in through my mind. And I'll start getting all those algorithms of symbols coming onto the board here, or coming onto a piece of paper, or something that I feel very, very prominent about that maybe I can't even draw out, but it's very clear in my mind. And again, the best form of affirmation is words. If you feel that a name is coming through in regards to a guide, let's say that you have the Count of Saint Germain for a guide. That's all you really need to focus on. That's your connection. Now, one particular question may come up in regards to people who are passionate in getting into channeling is that, what if I get a decoy? What if it's like a holographic, prism of a guide and it's not really truly a guide? Well, this is where discernment comes in. One of the rules that you have when you're looking to channel and access your own vibration of energies relating to information test your entity. Ask them the hard questions. Ask this consciousness questions that you know the conscious self would not be able to answer. What kind of questions would those be? Can you describe your environment? What do you look like? Have you been on Earth before? Can you tell me about what lives you've had? Anything that may relate to your life in regards to aspects of what you're attempting to understand and evolve to. And this may come in through a very simplistic response. The more that you test your entities, the more that you know you're able to grow that discernment. And if you know that this is a shamble of an entity, then you don't have to connect to that energy again. You just simply go into a deeper state of meditation. And you continue to attempt to connect to a Count of Saint Germain. Because there are holograms out there, absolutely. So it all depends upon you. This is for you. That's what this whole thing is about, is for you to connect in this way, utilizing the way of symbol, utilizing the way of affirmation, utilizing the way of names, image. It's all about the trust of yourself, testing that energy and working together with those guides. That's kind of the 101 principle relating to connecting the star family, through channeling, through meditation, anything like that, to heal as well, to be inspired to create a work of art, whether it be a literature or something amazing that you create upon a canvas. It's all the same. It's just different interpretations relating to energies that you're experimenting with, connecting with extensions of consciousness. And Adronis did talk about in the last episode of the Adronis Morning Show that the stars themselves are all part of your soul matrix. That you're maybe very, very inclined to connect with a being from Sirius or connect from a being from the Pleiades. You don't feel that there's a draw to come all the way to Alpha Regulus and communicate with somebody because it doesn't feel as strong. There's something happening in the Pleiades. There's something happening in Sirius. What other signs represent communication? Well, let's see here. Pardon my kind of crude drawings here. Alright, here's the human face and the ears. These represent tones that you may hear within the ears. Now, everybody experiences this differently. What's happening in regards to the tones contained in the ears is that these are shifts in calibrated energetic frequency, that your aura itself is rebalancing itself. It's harmonizing itself. It's connecting itself together, just as if you were to take a frequency, put some sand on it, and then blast it with that frequency, or I should say rather a table, then use frequency with all that sand on it, and then see it form geometric shapes. This experiment has been done with sound. But that's basically what's happening, is that your auric field is aligning in regards to the coordination of tones that you're hearing from the ears. This is in that sense what can also trigger open the crown chakra so that you are actually able to receive transmission. That transmission can come from telepathic response. I have actually talked to individuals who get sounds in the ears, the tones in the ears. They feel their crown chakra opening up, and they're getting all this divine information coming in in regards to a transmission. I'm getting the feeling that I need to go out to the park tonight at 9 o'clock. There's something that I need to see. It feels very harmonious. It feels great. So I'm going to go ahead and take it up. That's all it takes. So again, there's so many ways of how it can come about, relating to connection with other beings, connection with oversoul, connection with higher self, connection with monadic principles, moving into particular levels of being that you may be unfamiliar with, connecting with light body, understanding the nature of utilizing your Merkaba vessel, offering particular understandings of a messenger, bringing out more messages for other people that you may know from what you have received. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom. It can be something that's very, very excitable that you're passing on. Just saying that, I got this really good feeling from one of my guides tonight, Joe, that you're going to have a really amazing dream, and try to pay attention to that dream as much as you can. Do this affirmation when you sleep tonight. You're going to feel something really amazing. Calls the next day, oh my God, you were right, that was an incredible dream, I got a contact. It was amazing, I felt like I was on board a spacecraft, etc., etc. That's how it starts. It's just, there's no end to the joy, to the abundance, to the excitement that you have when connecting to Star Family. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has made sense. Glad I got a whiteboard now, so I'll be doing a lot more of these examples on a white screen here, and looking forward to doing the other videos. If you have any questions in regards to this video, or if you feel that there's some other questions that you want me to, or I guess you say other subjects that you want me to look at through conscious matrix communication, by all means feel free to contact me. Email is info@areyourselfempowered.com. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Namaste, and see you next time. Thank you very much for watching this video. Remember to check us out on areyourselfempowered.com. Private sessions relating to conscious matrix communication through Skype, and group sessions as well too, Akashic Perspective sessions, universal energy healing sessions, online digital courses, and much more. Check us out, areyourselfempowered.com. Looking forward to hearing from you. Namaste.